palm oil continues to come under many challenges. Just recently, the European Union agreed to issue an anti-deforestation regulation, which requires commodity-producing companies, including palm oil, to prove that they are deforestation-free. Companies will be required to collect precise geographical information to be checked for compliance, something that Indonesia and Malaysia, as the world's largest producers of palm oil, deem to be a restrictive regulation. And that is not the only case. Indonesia is currently in a legal dispute with the European Union at the World Trade Organization regarding the EU's Renewable Energy Directive 2, which categorizes palm oil as an unsustainable product. Indonesia's Coordinating Minister of Economic Affairs, Airlangga Hartarto, and Malaysia's Deputy Prime Minister, who is also the country's Minister of Plantations and Commodities, Dato Seri Fadillah Yusof, recently held a bilateral meeting to discuss their response to the EU's stance on palm oil. And I sat down with both leaders to find out just exactly what Indonesia and Malaysia's next move will be.
Your Excellencies, thank you so much for speaking with Metro CV.
Thank you for the invitation.
All right, thank you. So first of all, I want to talk about the bilateral meeting that was just held. Tell us more about the discussions and perhaps the results.
Yeah, I think we discussed with Yang Amat Berhormat, Deputy Prime Minister Malaysia, about the importance of CPOPCs and the strategy going forward, that especially in the deforestation or Green Deal in Europe, we agreed to make a joint mission to go to EU to have a policy dialogue with them, and also to give them a fact as regarding the palm oil and the importance of palm oil, not only for the commodities but also in the program for alleviating the poverties. And after that, we also plan to go to visit India as one of the emerging market for the palm oil, and now they are becoming one of the biggest market for palm oil. And then also realign and calibrate the national standard, in this case the ISPO and MSPO, that should be in harmonize with the RSPO, and we are working on the common standard as work for within an ASEAN as well. And we discussed also to extend the membership of the CPO, currently Indonesia and Malaysia, and we agreed to invite Honduras at becoming a third country for this. Thank you.
Right, so cooperation, collaboration against these challenges that palm oil has had. And of course, palm oil is an important commodity for the world and also for Indonesia and Malaysia. Your Excellency, Yang Amat Berhormat, you have previously stated that Malaysia could ban exports of palm oil to the EU, that is an option. Is that still a possibility? Could Malaysia ban palm oil exports to the EU, Your Excellency?
That statement came about because there's a question. What happened if EU decided to ban all palm from its market? So I told them the only choice is we have to stop, and then we have to find other countries and market it somewhere else. So that was the response. But as far as our palm is concerned, I think both EU are also in need of palm oil. So this is where I think we have to work together. That's why the engagement is important. So that's why we have agreed the formation, both countries, to have a joint mission to EU to present our case and for them to understand what we have done as far as sustainable development is concerned. Compliance with ESG, compliance with forced labor, that commitment are fully committed by us in Malaysia, and I believe also by Indonesia. So that's the purpose of the mission. I think that we need to communicate with them so that they will understand the commitment and what we have done in compliance with all aspects of the standards, be it on environment or be it on workforce.
Right. But those are strong words, a ban on exports to the EU. Is that still a long ways away? There's still many discussions to be had. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, of course. This is where we jointly with Indonesia, we are looking at it. And very, very much depend on how EU are acting on receiving what we have done. Are they accepting our standard? Are they recognizing our standard? Are they imposing more barriers to us and so on? So it depends on that. And we will react upon whatever action they are doing.
All right. And Your Excellencies, are you confident of this meeting with the EU and maybe provide more details as to what negotiations will be had on certain points?
Yeah, I guess in every negotiation we have to be confident. So I think we are hopeful that the dialogue will open up the standard for both countries, because at the end of the day, sustainability standard, that is matters, because that the objective of the regulations that is implied in Europe. And this is not the first time. I think we have been discussing this on the timber product, which they have flag T. In Indonesia, we have SVLK. At the end, they accept the SVLK. So I think dialogue, more communications, more educations, more understanding among the stakeholders is very important.
Right. And of course, both Indonesia and Malaysia have sustainability standards. Indonesia has the ISPO, Malaysia has the MSPO. So is this just a matter of aligning those sustainability standards with the EU standards? And is there a chance for them to align so this can no longer be an issue?
I think few companies, if we talk about big companies, they comply with all of those standards. But what is important for us is the smallholder. How we make the smallholders becoming part of this, because otherwise most of the market is only being enjoyed by the big companies. That's not the role of the government. Government needs everyone have a fair share of the market.